plan for my salvation to me. You have set the way I am to go, the role to take, and every step in my appointed path. I cannot lose the way. I can but choose to wander off a while and then return. Your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. Your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them, yet I merely follow in the way to you, as you direct me and would have me go. I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. So let us follow one who knows the way. We need not tarry, and we cannot stray an instant from his. We cannot stray an instant from his loving hand. We walk together, for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure, and guarantees a safe returning home. I merely follow, for I would not lead. 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 Well, thank you all so much for joining me here today on Tuesday, November the 19th of 2024. I'm Forgiveness Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks. We're ready for lesson 324. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles this year. And again next year, we'll start with lesson 1 and go right through it again just like we did this year. So bring your friends. Be ready to really do the lessons the way they call for it this year. You know, they might have missed a lot of them last year. It's okay. You made some progress. Now make a lot of progress by doing your hourly remembrances every hour of the day, and where you tell yourself today, I merely follow, for I would not lead, and give God thanks during those hours, and ask for direction for that hour. And then be sure to take a longer practice if you don't have a set time and you want to kind of punch your clock so everybody knows you're out of you're going within for a while. Set it for 15 minutes. That'd be my encouragement. 15, 20 minutes. You do it for 5 if that's all you can do. Do it for 1 if that's all you can do. But do a little bit of time in the morning and again in the evening where you just withdraw and ask God for guidance. Be open-minded, be still and quiet, have that forgiving attitude, and today tell yourself as you go into that silence, I merely follow, for I would not lead. I'll just get myself in a mess when I try to figure it all out. Father, you are the one who gave the plan for my salvation to me. Let me go to my my lesson here. Father, you are the one who gave the plan for my salvation to me. You have set the way I am to go, the role to take, and every step in my appointed path. I cannot lose the way. Isn't that some encouragement? What he says is, I cannot lose the way. I can but choose to wander off a while and then return. Your loving voice will always call me back. Your loving voice will always call me back. It's not up to you to figure all this out. You do the little part. Your little willingness is just, be willing to sit still and ask for help. Whether it's those hourly remembrances or your longer period, morning and evening, or throughout the day, you can have a longer period too. But ask for help, knowing that God's loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them, yet I merely follow in the way to you, as you direct me and would have me go. Isn't that something? So you might think you or me are following the Holy Spirit's guidance, and yet our brothers who we're reaching to help. The only thing that's really worthwhile in this world is to help our brothers and sisters. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them. So we're going to lead them to practice forgiveness and to live in the love that they are, and the love we all are, our oneness. Yet and it says, my brothers all can follow in the way I lead them, yet I merely follow in the way to you as you direct me and would have me go. I merely follow, for I would not lead. So let us follow one who knows the way, the Holy Spirit. We need not tarry, and we cannot stray except an instant from his loving hand. We walk together, for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure and guarantees a safe returning home. Okay, well, just trust the Holy Spirit's guidance. And our associated reading, number 11, back a couple pages. What is creation? Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts, in number infinite and everywhere without all limits. Only love creates, and only like itself. There was no time when all that it created was not there, nor will there be a time when anything that it created suffers any loss. Forever and forever are God's thoughts exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. God's thoughts are given all the power that their own Creator has, for he would add to love by its extension. Thus his Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. What God has willed to be forever one will still be one when time is over, and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining through time and after time is done. Again, on that sentence, it's wind blew my page. Forever and forever are God's thoughts exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. God's thoughts are given all the power that their own Creator has, for he would add to love by its extension. Thus his Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. What God has willed to be forever one will still be one when time is over, and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining as it was before the thought of time began. Creation is the opposite of all illusions, for creation is the truth. Creation is the Holy Son of God, for in creation is his will complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Its oneness is guaranteed inviolate, forever held within his holy will, beyond all possibility of harm, of separation, imperfection, and of any spot upon its sinlessness. We are creation, we the sons of God. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with him, yet back of all our doubts, past all our fears, there still is certainty. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. God's memory is in our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Let our function be only to let this memory return, only to let God's will be done on earth, only to be restored to sanity, and to be but as God created us. Our Father calls to us, we hear His voice, and we forgive creation in the name of its Creator, holiness itself, whose holiness His own creation shares, whose holiness is still a part of us. And in our Manual for Teachers reading, What is Death? Number 27. Let's see, let me see if I can put my hat on the camera to keep that in the shade. I don't know if I can without blocking the view. I may not be able to. I don't want to take much time in doing this. Well, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Try and put my hat on my camera. Anyway, what is death? Death is the central dream from which all illusions stem. Is it not madness to think of life as being born, aging, losing vitality, and dying in the end? We've asked this question before, but now we need to consider it more carefully. It is the one fixed, unchangeable belief of the world that all things in it are born only to die. This is regarded as the, in quotes, way of nature, not to be raised to question, but to be accepted as the, in quotes, natural law of life. The cyclical, the changing and unsure, the undependable and the unsteady, waxing and waning in a certain way upon a certain path, all this is taken as the will of God. And no one asks if a benign Creator could will this. 2. In this perception of the universe as God created it, it would be impossible to think of Him as loving. For who has decreed that all things pass away, ending in dust and disappointment and despair, but can be feared? He holds your little life in His hands but by a thread, ready to break it off without regret or care, perhaps today. Or if He waits, yet is the ending certain. Who loves such a God knows not of love, because he has denied that life is real. Death has become life's symbol. This world is now a battleground, where contradiction reigns and opposites make endless war. Where there is death, is peace impossible. Death is the symbol of the fear of God. His love is blotted out in the idea which holds it from awareness, like a shield held up to obscure the sun. The grimness of the symbol is enough to show it cannot coexist with God. It holds an image of the Son of God in which He is, in quotes, laid to rest, in devastation's arms, where worms wait to greet Him, and to last a little while by His destruction. Yet the worms as well are doomed to be destroyed as certainly, and so do all things live because of death. Devouring is, in quotes, nature's law of life. Law of life's in quotes. God is insane, and fear alone is real. He puts them in quotes because it's not really the laws of life, but it appears to be from the upside-down perspective of this world. Paragraph 4. The curious belief that there is part of dying things that may go on apart from what will die does not proclaim a loving God, nor reestablish any grounds for trust. If death is real for anything, there is no life. Death denies life, but there is reality in life. Oh, but if there is reality in life, death is denied. Okay, catch this. If there is reality in life, then death is denied. Those things that you thought were death are just a transition, a moving on. They're not death at all. You're more real after you do what you call dying than you are before you go through it. That's what we're learning from all those near-death experiences we're listening to. So, if death denies life, but if there is reality in life, death is denied. No compromise in this is possible. There is either a God of fear or one of love. The world attempts 1,000 compromises and will attempt 1,000 more. Not one can be acceptable to God's teachers, because not one could be acceptable to God. He did not make death, because he did not make fear. Wow, catch that. God did not make death, because he did not make fear. Both are equally meaningless to God. 5. The reality of death is firmly rooted in the belief that God's Son is a body. Catch this. The, in quotes, reality, it's not really reality, but it might appear like it. The reality of death is firmly rooted in the belief that God's Son is a body. And if God created bodies, death would indeed be real. But God would not be loving. There is no point at which the contrast between the perception of the real world and that of the world of illusions becomes more sharply evident. Death is indeed the death of God if he is love, and now his own creation must stand in fear of him. He is not father but destroyer. He is not creator but avenger. Terrible his thoughts and fearful his image. To look on creation is to die. Paragraph 6. And the last to overcome will be death. Of course, without the idea of death, there is no world. Now that, and it's in quotes, and the last to be overcome will be death. That's a quote out of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 26. And the last to be overcome will be death. And he explains it. He says, of course, that's the last thing that'll be overcome is death. Without the idea of death, there is no world. All dreams will end with this one. This is salvation's final goal, the end of all illusions. And in death are all illusions born. What can be born of death and still have life? But what is born of God and still can die? The inconsistencies, the compromises, and the rituals the world fosters in its vain attempts to cling to death and yet to think love real are mindless, magic, ineffectual, and meaningless. God is, and in him all created things must be eternal. God is. That was how Helen, that was the first thing that Helen received in her, when she was hearing the voice, was she was an atheist. And the first thing in her dream that she recognized is it said, God is, in big old written words on a cave. So anyway, he's saying here, God is, and in him all created things must be eternal. God is, and in him all created things must be eternal. Do you not see that otherwise he has an opposite, and fear would be as real as love? So remember, God is, and in him all created things must be eternal. That's the nature of our reality, is we're eternal. Don't get caught up that the body's your reality. It's a transient thing that passes. That's not the real. That's not God's reality. It's your own imagining. Of course, we got some pretty powerful imagining, don't we? It seems pretty real, doesn't it? God is, and in him all created things must be eternal. Do you not see that otherwise he has an opposite, and fear would be as real as love? And the last paragraph for this section, 7. Teacher of God, your one assignment could be stated thus: accept no compromise in which death plays a part. Let's take that with us. Teacher of God, your one assignment, here's our assignments, could be stated thus: accept no compromise in which death plays a part. Accept no compromise in which death plays a part. Do not believe in cruelty, nor let attack conceal the truth from you. What seems to die has but been misperceived and carried to illusion. Now it becomes your task to let the illusion be carried to the truth. Be steadfast but in this: be not deceived by the, in quotes, reality of any changing form. Don't be deceived by death, by the reality, the apparent reality of changing forms. Truth neither moves nor wavers nor sinks down to death and dissolution. And what is the end of death? Nothing but this: the realization that the Son of God is guiltless now and forever. Nothing but this. But do not let yourself forget it is not less than this, that God's Son is guiltless. That's what ends death. And let's read it again. And what is the end of death? Nothing but this, the realization that the Son of God, that be us, is guiltless now and forever. Us and all our brothers and sisters are guiltless now and forever. Nothing but this. But do not let yourself forget it is not less than this. Okay, see your innocence and your brothers and sisters' innocence. Don't get caught up in the changing forms. Okay, what's going on around the world? I found that it's the Naw-Rúz, which is a Bahá'í celebration. I think it begins tonight at sundown, because it's the 19th and the 20th. So I think they probably start the day at sundown. So it'll be sundown tonight on the 19th, going all day until sundown tomorrow, I expect. But anyway, it says the 19th and the 20th of November, commemorates the covenant given Baha'u'llah's last will and testament. Baha'u'llah was the one who started the Baha'i way. Okay, and I'm not necessarily Baha'i, but I like for us to all be aware of other people's paths and to honor, what works for them. Well, then we should be in support of them. American Made Matters Day. This is all out of holidays and observances. American Made Matters Day. Carbonated Beverages with Caffeine Day. I'm not sure we just get plenty of sleep, so you don't need caffeine to keep you going all day. Eat properly. That sugar just kind of takes you up. That carbonated beverage usually is high sugar content, takes you up and then drops you off. Well, that caffeine keeps you going a little higher, huh? I'm not recommending that's ultimately, if people are going to drink it, they're going to drink it. But you might try to drink less of it till you don't drink any of it. Equal Opportunity Day. Also, it's a couple other things that go along with Equal Opportunity Day is Entrepreneurship Day and Women's Entrepreneurship Day. Have a bad day. Have a bad day. You know what? I don't think there is such thing for an eternal optimist to have a bad day. But, you might have some days that you don't see things quite as good as others. There's the days to be still and quiet and ask God for help and use all the badness to remember that you are eternally loving and good and innocent and that there is no death. International Men's Day. Blow Bagpipes Day. You got a bagpipe, day's your day. Camp Day. My son-in-law's day's first day of hunting season. It's actually I think the 15th is when you're getting this on the 19th, but a few days before, on the 16th, I'm doing this recording, and it's the first day of hunting season. That's why I'm sitting out here in the woods, just kind of tuning in with my brothers and sisters like to hunt whitetail. Let's see. Anyway, him and his dad, Scott and Jake, have a hot tent. Tent. They went out and camped last night and got up early this morning right there where they're in the woods, ready to go hunting. Maybe they shoot from their tent. I don't know. Let's see what else. Parents' Day. All you parents, thank you for raising your kids. Be sure to give them a good operating system. And I encourage you to consider A Course in Miracles as a good operating system. My daughter Rebecca, who's married to Jake, she was raised with it, and she knows how to stay at peace. It so amazes me just how that she uses the principles without actually even, it's just kind of the way I raised her best I could, and it kind of stuck with her. Anyway, I appreciate her example of a peaceful woman. And she's got two little kids, Benjamin and William, that she's now going to pass that operating system on to them. And just let go and let God, practice forgiveness. That's the thing I always tried to teach her. Play Monopoly Day, Rocky and Bullwinkle Day, Women's Entrepreneurship Day, World Toilet Day. I encourage you to use composting toilet, but if you are going to use water toilet, use the water to feed your plants. You know, they use it as a resource somehow. That's, you know, it's engineered wetlands perhaps. Anyway, let's see. And out of Seed Savers Exchange, we've got the Cairns family Hanover Rutabaga. It's a Brassica napus. Tan roots with light red and green shoulders, grow to 6 to 8 inches in diameter and have a sweet flavor after a frost. Evelyn Schnackenberg shared this family heirloom rutabaga with Seed Savers Exchange in 2013. Her grandmother's cousin, Leo Cairns, was an avid gardener and grew it as early as the 1950s in Bellingham, Washington. 90 to 100 days. Okay, well, let's close with our song. And thank you all so much for joining me. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Father, you are the one who gave the plan for my salvation to me. You have set the way I am to go, the road to take in every step, and every step in my appointed path. I cannot lose the way, I cannot lose the way. I can but choose to wander off a while and then return. Your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. Your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them, yet I merely follow in the way to you. As you direct me and would have me go, I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. So let us follow one who knows the way. We need but tarry, and we cannot stray an instant from his loving hand. We walk together, for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure and guarantees a safe returning home. I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. And our word for peace is out of the, I think it's Ainu people of Japan, and it's Apunno. So from the Ainu people of Japan, Apunno be with you, or peace be with you, Apunno. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Apunno.